What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video, and today we are talking about how DSP wants Restreamers put in jail, the $1,000 goal for smart guys, wage quitting Stalker 2, and much more. But we start today with Franny, who shows an updated tally of times DSP has begged since they started counting last September, and it's 4,751 times. Robust, dude. Then I put this out. This is what a resurgence looks like, dude. Then we see 357 views in 7 hours, 164 views in 8 hours, 112 in 8 hours, 226 in 9 hours, and 271 views in 13 hours. Of course, that is DSPGAMING. Then over on DSP Reacts, which he might as well retitle to DSP Tries It. 878 views in 3 days, 1.1k views in 5 days, 1.2k views in 10 days, 1.9k views in 2 weeks, 1k views in 3 weeks, 949 views in 3 weeks. Now, if you think that's bad for those two channels, let's take a look at DSP Throwback. Oh my god. 51 views in 21 hours, 107 views in 1 day, 69 views in 2 days, 109 views in 3 days, 89 views in 7 days. These are views from someone who just started, not a 17-year creator. And would you look at that? WWE Champions named something after Phil, and they now have an event called Fit for a King Web Special. And look at that. As his tips go up, the spending on WWE Champions goes up. What a coincidence, dude, because he totally, really sold that account. TJ Gamebox, $641 if he got bills. Goldberg, $1,176 if he didn't get bills. Goldberg. Then we see, from that being said, a couple of banned kick names, including Kino Casino Doormat Rio. You will never razz Kino ever. Then this is a throwback courtesy of That Being Said. So this person, Hutch, is the person responsible for DSP getting the Machinima contract. Previous to this, DSP was actually contacted by Machinima, and DSP basically shit all over the contract, said, I'm not doing that, you gotta do things my way. And Hutch kind of smoothed things over and got Machinima to offer him a contract. And I quote from Hutch, he demanded that his videos be featured once a week and that we add the pro and post rolls ourselves. We told him to take a hike, period. So when they say the pro and post rolls, what they mean is the intro and outro. All he had to do was take his video, put one on the intro and put one on the outro, and that's it. And he said that's too much work, dude. Then I found this is funny because I'm going down the queso rabbit hole, enjoying his content, and well, he was playing Judge Sim, and this came up.
Money laundering. Recently, Havid Morgan, who has been broadcasting on the platform called TapTop, received a large donation from one of his followers during the broadcast. As a result of the investigations, it was determined that the user who donated a large amount had previously donated the same amount. In order to clarify the incident, an investigation was launched into the incident, and the person named Havid Morgan was detained. Here's a statement from Mr. Havid. Like all broadcasters, I play games and chat with my followers. What can I do with the donation sent? Also, what's the problem with getting too many donations? I think it's quite natural that I regularly receive donation from a follower who loves me very much. It supports me to continue doing this work. I'm publishing more to repay his love. I have several stolen credit cards. None of them can be tracked. I will donate to your publication and you will send a certain portion of this money back to me. Do you accept? $8,000. This was repeated 33 times. What is 8,000 times 33? $264,000. Honor, my follower loves me and supports me. What crime is that? I don't understand. Buddy, we have you in 4K, dude. Did you know that the donations he sent you were sent through stolen credit cards? Of course not. How would I know that? Why should I send back the money sent by my followers? I did no such thing.
Then one of the big downfalls of DSP, because there's many of them, was that he deleted a ton of videos because they got content ID matched. And then this is another creator who's trying to tell people, don't listen to Phil, don't delete your videos. And we have Jog Wheel. Phil recommends deleting your video if you get a content ID match. This is a terrible advice. If your video falls under fair use, you should take a chance and appeal it. Most right holders don't want to issue takedowns and copyright strikes. If they find your content even slightly qualifies as fair use, they'll remove the claim and allow you to monetize it. And as you can see, it cost DSP 1.37 million views from that. Then we have this from Phil Callens. Why did he give up on Felton Detractors like that? He was doing so well. And look at that graph, absolutely disgusting. What happened, Phil? What happened to the Detractors Destruction Day? What happened back in the summer when he said, I'm going up here, you guys are going down, you're going extinct, you're going to be gone. What happened to that, Phil, by the way? Remember you're talking about how people are now standing up for you. People are talking to the detractors saying how they're insane and they're mentally ill. But now in 2025, you're talking about suing detractors and putting them in jail. It's almost like that renaissance, as you call it, is over, gone, poof, in an instant. Then remember, DSP always said, no one got offended back in the day, everyone loved his humor, and nobody was complaining about it. So we have Tat's top videos. Wow, the first time I've ever seen Kratos actually die in God of War. Of course it had to be DSP playing it, so I wonder why. Then we have Uncool Guy Films. Holy shit, even Tats doesn't like DSP. Indicating that multiple people don't like DSP at this time period. And then Tats. Well, I didn't mind, but his racial jokes every single second in his LP of Sleeping Dogs took the cake. Considering him half Asian, now I just hate the guy. Then we have this, simply titled, Philip.
I found his Steam account, and his Steam account, I went through all his followers, and I did an ID crawl on all the people he's friends with on Steam. One of them I found was Kanye, and he was posting really pedophilic stuff about North. One of them I found was linked to this guy, I forget his name, I had sent it to you. He's on his profile, he says groomer of young girls.
Who's that?
Dark Side Phil.
Oh,
his name is
Phillip.
Dark Side Phil, and on his profile it says groomer of young girls.
Philip.
And in Leonardo DiCaprio's private art collection, I sent you a photo of that too.
Philip, you can't do that.
Hand drew a photo of Dark Side Phil.
Oh.
I also found his personal TripAdvisor.
Then in the comments below, you need to look into a Canadian guy that goes by the name of DERICH. He's a PDF that Darkside Phil protected for years. Then the John Cooper Show, which this is from, where do you find him? Oh, they're looking into DERICH, you know what that means. Then we have this one, which was out of left field, but not surprising. We have an account called Fuck Jeets, who says, if enough people tell Bo Blacks to kill himself, then maybe he will. We can be a force for positive change. Then the same account tweets out DSP approved message and shows that DSP follows him. King of hate, dudes. Then as soon as DSP saw that, he unfollowed that account and said, I have no idea who that is or why to be following them. I also have no idea who Blowbacks, which is supposed to be Bo Blacks, is, LOL. Then this is a throwback as well from when Etika died, and DSP decided to talk about him on his pre-stream. At the same time, his gameplay was the start of Lost Judgment playthrough. So what does DSP title the video? Pre-stream June 25th, 2019. RIP Etika, Judgment Begins. That's classy right there, Phil. And then this is definitely something that DSP actually inspired. It's the comfortable, convenient, convert, jack-off pants. So we start off on Sunday, and it's a brand new week, and what is the first thing DSP talks about is how he's not using impact font on the leaderboard anymore. Amazing content, Phil. And then right after that, he starts shilling YouTube Premium after saying hi to all his whales. Cause you know, he needs that money, dude. He really does. And YouTube Premium gives him more money, and he doesn't want people complaining about ads on his stream. And then he starts talking about the games he played last week. And of course, by games he played last week, he means how much money you gave me for those playthroughs. Things DSP has shilled on the pre-stream so far: his Patreon, DSP Throwback, and YouTube Premium. And look at that, he's already looking forward to the next DSP Tries It, where you're gonna try Jersey Mike's, cause they have new sandwiches. Even though he's eaten Jersey Mike's, 3 times on stream already? And the dents are dumb enough to give him money to eat more. And then would you look at that, Jink's back with $20. And DSP drinks it for the next reward. And then DSP announced he is dropping Street Fighter 6 on Friday, Jax Raxer's downstairs crying, and replacing it with Marvel vs. Capcom. And I quote, because people told him to drop it. He said that people were telling Phil that Street Fighter 6 was stressing him out too much, and he needs to drop it and play Marvel vs. Capcom. Then boom, Josh. Everyone playing Street Fighter 6 is copying pro players, which makes them tryhards, and thus, the game is no longer fun to play. And of course, that is a quote from DSP. And look at that right below that, top tier rated Brian. Don't play the master rank if you don't want to fight tryhards. It's common sense, for fuck's sakes. Then we have Rent and Liar. Watching DSP is like a reality show about a retarded liar trapped in an insane asylum he built himself. That is so true. It's a prison that he cannot escape. Then this is absolutely hilarious. So first, his wife decides what he eats on DSP Tries It. Now, she is now deciding what he plays on DSP Gaming. As he said, he watched his wife for a couple of hours play Road 96, and he decided he wants to play it on stream, and his wife told him to do it. Of course, what this game is a narrative-based game, and you know DSP likes narrative-based games. He sits back, falls asleep, collects the money. Robust content, dude. Then we have Perry the White, who ups his membership for 5 months and says, "Smart guys rules." Then DSP goes on to say, India would be a good place to visit. Now I wonder, which side of this equation would hate it more over there? DSP or India having DSP? Then we have Darcy DeFeel with a quote from DSP. "I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna sit around and say anything for money." Then DSP goes on to say that hashtags on YouTube are meaningless. It doesn't matter. The YouTube algorithm is gonna give you stuff no matter what.
Oh, and what was the other thing? Hashtags don't really do anything on YouTube, to be frank. They used to do things called tags, and then they turned them into hashtags, and they don't do anything. YouTube basically now has an AI system that reads your titles and it scans your video. And that's what determines how your video will show up in YouTube search. So if you title your video correctly for how you want it to be found, or the AI will just catch it, either one, YouTube will have your video sorted by that. Tags literally do nothing anymore, even though they used to be super important. Like you put a whole bunch of tags on your video, how you want it to be found in search, they're not even used anymore. So it's a waste of time.
Then we have Next Gen Guy, who quotes that video and says, "Hashtags are pointless," says 200k subscriber YouTuber that gets less than 1% of his viewership per video. Tell that to top detractor, Duty Streams, and we see a bunch of hashtags from Duty Streams from his video and his channel. But Phil, you're right. They are pointless. That's why everyone else gets more views and engagement than you. Then DSP is going to go on to talk about his hair yet again, because remember guys, he's not like all the other streamers. He doesn't waste your time. He values your time and your engagement.
I know my hair, if you haven't noticed, my hair puffs up over the course of the podcast. It seriously does. My hair's like, okay, then all of a sudden it goes in like areas like this area right here is like extra puffy at all times for some bizarre reason. It just keeps puffing up right there. It's very weird.
Then DSP hit the goal. He got $150. But $150 is never good enough for DSP. And we have Good New Year. As a thank you for hitting his goal, DSP asked for another $150 immediately. Then if you saw the last video, Wheelie Steve made a video about DSP taking advantage of disabled people. And we have this in the chat. Wheelie Steve, you still taking disability checks? Mine just got in at DSPGAMING. Then DSP decided to react to Atomfall, and his huge brain idea came up with something that nobody else figured out. It's like Fallout. My god, Phil, how did you ever come to that conclusion? Nobody else thought of that ever, dude.
Is not all you need to worry about. At the same time,
Lady Charisma, I feel, just hit it on the head. Lady Charisma in chat just said, this feels like Lies of P. So you're not going to make it? Well, we'll do it ourselves. Right? FromSoft refused to make Bloodborne 2. Well, okay, let me take that back. Sony refused to allow FromSoft to make Bloodborne 2 because Sony owns the rights. So another company made Bloodborne 2 and called it Lies of P. Well, Bethesda will literally not make a new Fallout game despite the fact that people want one. Instead, they did stupid Fallout 76, and now they're just doing a bunch of other crap. So another company made the next Fallout. They just changed the location on the planet, but it's literally Fallout. I don't think it could be any more like Fallout than this. Like, how could you even possibly make it more similar to Fallout?
terrifying ferals found in the bunkers also live in these areas and will not stop to ask questions.
They even call them ferals.
Be sure
like
to be
feral
well
ghouls.
these creatures and be extra cautious, as not everything is as it seems.
You're trapped in a quarantine zone around the Windscale Atom plant.
They keep showing this one guy.
Against all these threats. You're going to need weapons, supplies, and materials, all of which you can find through scavenging the locations of Atomfall. However, if you truly want to survive, some things may need to be taken by force. The weapons you will come across include melee weapons, like the cricket bat.
Melee?
Or ranged weapons, like pistols, rifles, and shotguns.
Walk straight into it. Good job.
Each with their own strengths and weaknesses. During your journey through Atomfall, you may even unlock the ability to upgrade your weapons and give them more power. The ammo
Wow,
these weapons will
I've never
be in
seen that
short
one.
supply, so you must either find or craft what you need to survive. However, weapons are not the only thing you'll need on your journey.
You can also
You'll
have some
other
tea.
resources, like cloth and alcohol, to craft various items, to heal yourself or harm your enemies.
Where do you get
Over time,
those little cucumber sandwiches? Those things are great.
you'll expand.
Then we see the DSP podcast audit, 25% the biggest chunk, Q&A, followed by begging, goals, and support. Then Atomfall reaction, shoutouts, daily rap recap / throwback recap, Phil's day off, schedule, intro, plenty of RGB / mic settings / background. Robust content, dude. Then we have next gen guy for clip, where he talks about how DSP is getting fed up with Stalker 2. He doesn't like it, it's too hard for him, there's no yellow paint all over the place, where he's calling it tedious. And he thinks, if the game's not hand-holding you, if you're not able to cheese stuff, if there's no yellow paint, then it's a bad game. And DSP doesn't like that. I wonder why games are so bad nowadays, Phil. I wonder why they're dumbed down, because of people like you, maybe.
I feel like the game has a better way to be played, but the game just doesn't explain itself well. So because of that, this playthrough has been a lot more arduous or tedious than it needed to be. Enemies? I'm just gonna ignore them. I want to fight them, I'm just gonna ignore them. Assholes. Alright. I wonder if, again, these are scripted encounters, or if this is actually, like, just random that those guys were there. Because I've been here before and there were no enemies, but now there are. Like, I don't want to fight these assholes. Now they're taking pot shots at me.
Then DSP complaining yet again, 2024 was a slow year for gaming. 2025 doesn't have a great lineup. There are no new games of any significance to play, dude.
Yeah, I will agree. New games have been disappointing. I mean, obviously, that's why 2024 was the slow year for gaming that it was. I hope this year is better. But even now, like, there's, like, not a big lineup of new games coming out that seem very good. So I guess we're going to have to see what happens. I mean, here we are in January. I'm playing Indiana Jones and Stalker 2, a modded run of Dark Souls, and a bunch of multiplayer stuff, and some indie stuff. I'm literally not playing one brand new game because there's been nothing, right? There's been nothing of significance to play. Oh, we're back. It's just looping.
Then DSP decided to stretch his back, where he had a hard time getting out of his chair, and you also saw his gunt as well.
In the scientist's mobile lab at the Arnhem station. They were good men. They fed me and took care of me. all while huddled together in a cramped little iron box.
Then we have some excuses from DSP in Stalker 2. My gun is jammed. My gun won't work. It hurt me. This game is terrible. It really is. The combat is atrocious. I have no ammo for any weapons. It's glitched. Where's my shit? Phil kills the quest character and blames the game, calls the soldier a pussy. Rage quit. To be decided.
Find the source of the radiation. Okay.
Something's wrong.
Great, there's an enemy in here. What the fuck was that? Are you gonna fight me or what?
Brother!
My gun jammed. What? What the fuck? My gun won't work. Well, that was effective. It hurt me. It fucking hurt me. Oh my god. Dude, they walk so fucking erratically, you can't even get a shot on anyone. You didn't reload. You were reloading. Why did you stop? Who just shot me? This sucks, dude. This fucking game is terrible. It really is. The combat is atrocious. Where are you?
I'm hit.
Did he run? Fuck, did he go? He disappeared. What's up, Lucky Gremlin? He fucking disappeared. I have almost no ammo. So I'm gonna get all this healing, but I have no ammo because none of them have anything for the weapons that I use.
Cover me, brothers. I'm hit.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look, I have 14 bullets for this one. I have no ammo for any weapon. What the hell? What just happened? Where's my weapons? It's glitched. I can't see my weapons to equip anymore. Where's my shit? Look. What the right. The only thing I have is shotgun shells, so now I have to swap the shotguns. So now I have long range and incredible short range and nothing for mid range.
Hello? Is anyone still breathing in this fucking zone? This is Soldier. I'm at the sphere. The place is fucked. Those noon assholes killed everybody. Anybody out there? Come in! Use the bus. Too.
What was that? The guy turned on me and was gonna fire, and he showed us an enemy on my radar, so I shot him, and now they're acting like he wasn't an enemy. Wait, what? I don't even understand what's going on. Who is this soldier? Soldier? Who is that? Talk to him. Okay, who is he? Now it says I can't talk to him. What? Dude, this game is so fucking stupid and wonky and shit. What happened? Talk to who? This guy? Why couldn't I talk to him? Well, guess what? Now I got his key. He died, I guess. I guess he bled out or something. I don't know. Great. Well, he's a pussy, right? No, see, I didn't kill a friendly. The game was unclear what the hell was going on because it's so unpolished. I didn't know what the fuck was happening there. I didn't know I had to rush to talk to that guy before he died. So he died. And now I can't talk to him. But I have his key, but I don't know what it's for. I guess we're just gonna have to try to figure it out. Look at this thing, the links.
And look at that. Phil is still drinking soda. This is what, the third stream in a row? But remember, he never drinks soda. It's bad for you. He never has it in the house, but he has it in the house. And Poems Josh. First he eats cookies after 40. Now he's drinking soda. Rip Phil. Then we get the flight simulator. And we start off with LOLCOW. DSP couldn't figure out how to get coordinates into Flight Sim after about 15 minutes and gave up on the suggestion after a $20 tip. Then, of course, this happens, and you can tell DSP has been sheltered. his whole life.
Fucking Dublin. Oh, okay, I have a serious question. I don't know if anyone knows this. Since we're in Ireland, I have to ask the question. Are four-leaf clovers actually real? Or is it just like a thing that's made up to represent luck, but it's meant for like culture, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if four-leaf clovers are actually real. I've seen clovers in real life before. I've never seen a four-leaf clover.
And man, look at that Renaissance. Look at all the people that love him. 185 people watching. Remember, he's been doing this 17 years. Then we have RGB Paper Plates Real in the Kick Chat. Damn trolls. Then we have Otter, former alcoholic DSP, thinks Ireland is famous for its beer and doesn't know Guinness is Irish. You know, Ireland, the country that introduced whiskey to the world. And before anyone comments, Guinness is stout, not beer.
No Sleep Real Vibe says Ireland is best known for a variety of drinks of choice. Oh, you mean beer? Can I find the Guinness factory? Was Guinness founded here? I don't know where Guinness actually started.
Then DSP went on to declare that most keyboards don't have the number pad anymore. Then we have one of the new whales asking DSP to ban other regulars. I will give another 2,000 yen after this if you ban one sick puppy.
Vitus Avitus did a 2,000 yen super chat saying, I'll give another 2,000 yen if you ban one sick puppy. Now, I don't just ban people for the sake of getting contributions. That'd be pretty messed up, I feel. So, no, I'm not going to do that. I appreciate the offer of support, but not in exchange to ban people. That's kind of messed up.
Then DSP says, magic is real because of the Harry Potter series. Then a quote from DSP this night. Okay, who's going to be the next to support and tell us where to go? Then you see Phil with his arms crossed, waiting for money to come in, refusing to go anywhere until someone gives him money. And thousands of dollars spent on a new studio for these results. And you see the mic cut into Phil's face. Then we have Detractor Beam. Is he okay?
Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to Flight Sim 2024. Our next flight tonight is to Dublin, Ireland, and I didn't realize it's actually one of the special flights that's designed in the game here. They're going to give us a Cessna to fly over Dublin, Ireland. So it says, Dublin is one of the most populous cities on the island of Ireland and the capital of the Republic of Ireland. The city is located on the island's east coast and the head of Dublin Bay on the Irish Sea. Vikings established the city in 841, although archaeological evidence indicates it may have been settled even earlier. So through the centuries, Dublin expanded its influence beyond its borders, and today it is one of the world's most important international centers for several industries, including finance, information technology, and pharmaceuticals. Dublin is a mosaic of the century-old and modern set against a backdrop of natural beauty.
And then Meowblock shows off. DSP's green screen is now cutting off his arms as he stretches or does a T-pose. So now he's torso side Phil. And the money wasn't coming in, and DSP stood there with his arms crossed, not saying anything, waiting for people to give him money.
Bum, 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 bum.
Then if you want an indication of what the conversation is like with DSP during Flight Sim, well, here it is.
Yeah, out there they got all those flat buildings, right? Due to the climate, they build them as one-story flat buildings.
And that was how Sunday went, and DSP decided to tweet out his next stream. However, the next day is Monday, he put Tuesday, and he also titled his gaming schedule as January 2024. 17 years, a professional dude. And that brings us to Monday, but before we get the DSP stuff, apparently DSP contacted Craig on Discord. And you know why he did that? In my opinion, when his attendance is down, when his money's down, there's no drama, he tries to create drama so he can have more attention on himself and make more money. But Craig was not having this.
Don't fucking do it, man. No, stop it.
DSP messaged me on Discord.
Why the fuck are you Why? What did we talk about?
Then we have DSP in the chat. Good morning. Finishing setup here. Tons going on. And the very first thing you see is moobs. Look at those big milkers right there. And of course, Meowblock compares Phil to an overstuffed Pillsbury dough container. Then we have the geek. If you didn't know who this bus belonged to, would you think it's a soccer mom in her 40s? I can't believe how the puppies are looking lately. The DSP tries it, going straight to his tits. Then we have Poem Josh. DSP notices he forgot the bra today.
And then this new console will actually release, say, in March. I would be shocked.
Then we have Gamerface Gaming. Now guys, I really need that support more now than ever. So please, don't leave them hanging. I mean, don't leave me hanging. I mean, just tip me already. And we see Phil wearing a bra. Pesticore. Even DSP's moobs are sad. Then we see a frowning face over DSP's boobs and underboob. Then we have Nerdbrew with the John Madden style commentary here highlighting the moobs. Piglinsky, take off your shirt DSP, you disgusting beggar. How much? And shows Wings, Boogie, and DSP all shirtless. Then we have Katzburgers, laugh my fucking ass off, he looks like he takes HRT. Then DSP, being a petty bitch, somebody in his chat says there's rumors that Xbox will put their games on PlayStation, and then DSP bans them. And that rumor turns out to be true. Starts the podcast by saying there's rumors that Switch 2 will be revealed soon. So it's ban-worthy of if he doesn't believe it, but news if he does. Then we're looking at mods for Dark Souls 1, Poem Josh. DSP has been told repeatedly to get a mod manager. If he's going to be modding these games in the way he is, and he just keeps refusing the idea, telling people he's been modding them for 2 weeks now, so he knows what he's doing. Then we have Meowblock with this totally not AI video of DSP. Then when DSP was talking about modding Dark Souls 1 yet again, he got mad at chat for giving advice on how to mod on games.
Just listen to this. He said you have to install your game outside of program files, make a folder called games or whatever, save it to all of that, use mod manager, don't update mid playthrough. Eddie gets credit, he's the one who said it. No. It's absolutely ridiculous. What a ridiculous bunch of things to say. You can, first of all, you can never update mid playthrough. So if they ever update a mod, you can never update it if you've started a game. Absolutely not. I mean, I get that. That's going to ensure that you don't have any blips during the playthrough. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you should be able to get updates. That's like saying don't ever update a game once you start your playthrough of any game. Just in case.
And then DSP. I've been doing this for 2 weeks. I know what I'm doing. 5 minutes later. How do I make a shortcut? Professional PC gamer. DSP. DSP's Dark Souls mod issues were because he wasn't running in 4K. The description says that had he read it, that it only runs at a native resolution. Then people kept talking about DSP shirts and how they look like Chris Chan shirts. And he goes on to say that his shirts are Nautica brand shirts and are better than Chris Chan's dollar store shirt. And would you look at that? DSP is having tech issues with the mods. And look who appears. Dragon Boy. If you have the previous files, then you can downgrade. Then we see the DSP podcast audit. And look at that, 51% about how the Dark Souls mods are broken. Followed by shoutouts, Q&A, baggin/goal/support, schedule, intro, play with RGBs /mic settings /background, daily rap recap, and off-screen. Robust content, dude. And then his podcast ended, and guess what guys, right into hardcore bag. And he made something different. So no matter what, no matter how much money you give him on Smart Guys, it does not count as a goal hit. You can give him $1,000 and no goals will be hit on that stream. And then he announced that coming up, he's going to do a half day because he has to do his final reaction videos for Slayer. Slayer is paying him $300 for that, and he wants you to make up money for him losing money. Make that make sense. And look at that. The longer the day went on, the bigger his milkers grew. Then we have Peter in the chat. At DSPGAMING, do you use Titter a lot? And then corrects it, Twitter. Then he installed a mod that makes the game Dark Souls 1 more challenging. And in the most DSP way possible, he complains that the game is more challenging. Then we have an AI chat summary. Viewers are making fun of the streamer's appearance, particularly his chest. Some think he needs to start working out, while others thinks it's hilarious. Then would you look at that? Iron Chef Sakai back to whale status. DSP gets $100 from ICS to hit the goal. Phil instantly bags for $300. ICS gives 30 kick subs. Phil instantly bags for $450. ICS gifts 31 subs. Phil begs for 600. ICS gives 25 subs. See the pattern? Now the funny thing about this is ICS, Iron Chef Sakai, still thinks he's gonna be a mod on Kick. And every time he asks Phil to be a mod again, Phil has ignored Kick chat for at least 20 minutes. Then we have an unrecorded bag, Annalene. Apparently, you're an idiot if you give Phil money asking, did he message Craig? Spoiler, he did.
Alright, let me stretch my legs, guys. Guys, please support the stream. Right now we're at $57 to support. We still have about another 2 hours left, roughly. But obviously, momentum is completely faded. And that sucks. Obviously, I want to hit the goal today. My ultimate goal for the week is to hit 70 by the end of the week so we can do DSP Tries It on Friday. Okay? This New Jersey Mike's sub, this new kind of chicken that they've got. But we already had a little bit of, you know, of a stall here. Yes, last night we didn't hit the goal, which is okay. We don't have to hit it every stream. But now, as you can see, today the momentum has stalled. Please support if you can in any way. Idiot. Okay. Yeah, so anything appreciated, whether it's super chats or memberships or tips or whatever, would be great. Okay? All right, cool.
And DSP was happy to take ICS's money. ICS spent $600 to get ignored by Daddy. And then we have ICS here. I'm here, waiting for acknowledgement. Absolutely pathetic. And then Franny shows off the nice stream chat. And this is how it started with Ross Michael. Hey Phil, you look busty. Your wife buy that for you? You're bigger and bustier than her. Philip, put the Wolverine figure down. Or we will open fire. Busty, poor aim, Burnell. Put the worthless action figure down and start your stream. Or romance your wife. Either one. Then DSP has to respond to this. Whoa, it's Tard Central, lol. Okay, I cleaned it up a bit. Then we have RM4. That's kind of rude considering Jade. Then Darziak, Dragon Boy, decided to give Phil a new command for Nightbot. And what does DSP do? He copy and paste the whole message and puts it under Nightbot. So you see Nightbot, click here to get all the stats, blah blah blah. Then at the very bottom, I think it's better than the current command. That's Darziak talking to DSP. And there you see Phil, arms folded, looking at chat, waiting for the money. And what are they saying in chat? Let me see those melons, DSP. You can't hide those milkers, Dave. Go ahead and cross your arms. You can't hide those mega moobs. Hashtag free the moobies. And then another AI chat summary. Viewers are focused on a streamer's appearance and make a humorous observation about his chest area, which they describe using words like moobs and UFOs. Then DSP got a $10 super chat from Gay Man who says, my dad died. Then another chat summary. Viewers are criticizing the gameplay and making fun of one of the players, Phil. calling him names like little bro and saying he has too much self-confidence. And it got to a point where DSP decided to defend his body and say, I don't have moobs. It's the shirt. The shirt makes it look like it because of the way it sits. Delusional side fill.
All right, people have been insulting me all day just to show you. It's the shirt. Look, it's the actual shirt. Because people keep like, dude, it looks like you have big boobs. No, this shirt for some reason is like fucked up and like bundles up right here like this. It's the shirt. It's not me. Look, this is actually me flat to my chest. I'm not sucking in it. Look. It's the stupid shirt. It's so dumb. I don't know why the shirt does that, but it does that for some reason. I think it's because it's worn out. When I used to wear it, it was like not as stretched out, so it actually looked fine. It looked normal, but now it's like stretched out, so now it's like baggy up here, which is not supposed to be, and then it ends up going like that. You see? And it looks stupid. Some people are like, I look like Wings and shit, or Boogie. They're like, you look like Wings or Boogie in that shirt. Should I not wear it? I guess I like it because it's comfortable. But if people are gonna be saying gross shit about fucking man boobs and shit when it's just a shirt, then I'm not gonna wear it anymore. I have plenty of other shirts that don't do that, you know, to show that it's not, that it's not me. But if people are gonna say that shit and fucking be derailing the chat all day, then I won't wear it.
Then we have Meowblock who points this out. Let me guess, this was just a shirt too? You got tits, Phil. And we see an older picture of Phil with mega milkers. Then we have Phil Callens. I don't have boobs, it's my shirt. My goatee isn't patchy, it's gray hairs. My hair isn't thinning, it's the headphones. I'm not down from the rafters, I'm down from the rafters. I'm a former alcoholic. Let's get drunk. My wife is a swimsuit model. ... Then poem Josh. Monday, January 13th, 2025. The day DSPGAMING became a titty streamer. Then we also had Moob shirt banned by DSPGAMING on Kick. Now isn't it funny too? The day he wears the shirt, shows off his moobs, he gets whaled out by ICS. But of course that's just a coincidence, right? It had to be. Couldn't be like he did it to get money from him, because he's a sick freak. Then DSP announced he will have a big announcement about the future content involving his wrestling show. But you know what? Let's see how DSP actually does in Call of Duty. I mean, it's not like he can get worse and worse every single stream, right? Right?
Don't, oh my god. Why you gotta fucking be on my ass? Now you're gonna get us killed. So I don't know where the fuck they are. My entire team is outside getting slaughtered by them. Walked right into the mine. Man, they're dumb. Why not make them come to us? No, instead you're gonna keep walking into them and get slaughtered a million times, which is why we're losing so bad. You notice I'm playing strategically? They're just running on dying, that's why we're losing by 10. Because they're stupid. That's complete nonsense right there. Contortions is, that's why skill-based matchmaking sucks. You always end up top 3 on your team, but you never get good teammates. Yeah, pretty bad. You saw I was dominating. I was dominating the whole match. Yeah, what happened? Again, what happened? I was playing smart and strategic. Stay in the building, make them come to you. You hold the building, make them come to you so you can take them out as they come in. What does my team do? Run out to the open, non-stop, and get killed in 3 separate fucking waves, wiping the whole team except me. What a bunch of idiots. No brains in their fucking heads. I mean, come on. Try playing like Wings and camping? No, I'm not a pussy bitch. I'm gonna actually fucking play the game. There you go, see? That's how the game's fun, when you actually shoot people and go after them.
There's a spy in our ranks. Watch your
Yo, it's so bad. No one ever dies unless you fill them with 7,000 fucking bullets. It's made for small children, this fucking game, but it's supposed to be for adults. Made for dumb kids. Brainless twits. How is he not dead? Yo, what would make me want to play this any further? Treyarch is so dumb. They don't understand that this fucking gameplay is so inferior. It just infuriates good players. Like, why the fuck would I want to keep playing when your gameplay sucks? Yo, no death. Come the fuck on.
Then PWOP shows off his algorithm where it's about man boobs and how to get rid of them. And that brings us to Tuesday. But before we get to that, we look at some band names from yesterday. This is very important because DSP is going to claim what he's about to talk about today, it's all jokes, he can laugh at himself. We have 12 pig treats, no bra natural. DSP is ICS tax dependent real. Tech issues and food menus. And look at the 2 rows of band names there. That is quite a lot of band names. And we started off looking at PPP or Triple P, because that's what DSP calls him, Triple P. Sat in a cuck chair and recorded an orgy with crack ski, pay pigs, and prostitutes. Is too fat to walk. Single whale equals 90% of income and is depraved. Fan arrested on To Catch a Predator. Audience is bots. Begs for money in the gutter with DSP. Doing great. And despite him banning people, talking about his man boobs, despite him claiming that he doesn't have man boobs, it was the shirt the whole time. DSP's gonna now joke about that and pretend it's one big joke.
Kingdom to its core. Apparently, Phil's fat.
Oh!
Phil has tits.
I have man boobs! Man boobs!
True, it's a man boob alert. Man boob alert. Phil, what's the deal, buddy?
Oh, I've been working on them. You know, I've been taking lactation drugs, obviously, to build these suckers up. I'm trying to get to the other demographic, you know?
You're getting on the hormone replacement therapy, Phil?
Of course.
Is that what you're telling me, Phil?
That's
well,
right.
We got to appeal to the liberal viewers somehow. But, like, I honestly, like, what? So I've been sent, right? As you might be aware, or probably not, because we keep this under wraps. I'm on what's called the Council of Obesity, Phil. And this is composed of people of calories. You know, Boogie's on the Council of Obesity. Wings is on the Council of Obesity.
Wow.
And I've been tasked to come here and decide if you, Phil, should be on the Council of Obesity. If you should be granted rank as a master of obesity, Phil.
And Smart Guys, DSP said, does not count towards making the goals. However, he does have a stream goal of $500. That's the first tier. The second tier is $1,000. Then we have Darcy DeFeel. The wrestling show has been bad enough without PPP, constantly getting simple wrestling facts incorrect. But here we are. Then in a moment that's absolutely hilarious and pathetic at the same time, PPP is going to show Phil the video of him declaring he doesn't have boobs, it's the shirt. This is getting really pathetic for you, Phil. They're openly mocking you to your face, and you're taking it, eating their shit. Think about this, Phil. Every single thing Triple P and Andy say to you, the detractors say the exact same thing, but because Kino has all those whales, it's all good, it's all razzling. They could say word for word the exact same thing as Duty, and you would still hate Duty and love Triple P. Of course, you're all about the money. Even when they make fun of your wife, you don't care about that, because it's all about the money, yeah.
Okay, let's examine this evidence. We're gonna do it.
The evidence that Phil is obese, that Phil is fat.
Here we go,
Apparently,
ready?
Phil has surpassed me in size, apparently so.
We're gonna do this, video evidence. All right, here we go.
We're doing it right now. Let's have a look here.
Oh, wow.
You can see there, Phil.
Look at those, look at those milkers.
Just to show you.
Phil.
Yes.
Look. It's
Phil.
the actual shirt.
What's going on, buddy? Too many Popeyes meals there, buddy? Too much DoorDash, buddy? What are you, look at this shit, Phil. And you're trying to, like, cope with pulling down the shirt, but it only makes you look more titted, bro.
It's the stupid shirt.
Are we getting you the bro? Are we getting you the man bra, Phil? Oh, no, Phil.
Here we go.
Phil, the pictorial evidence has arrived.
I can't. How can I dispute it? It's awful, right? I mean, I'm huge.
Then we have this troll in the kick chat. Gay and gouted. Let's get some likes. Let's get some gifted. Let's get some subs. Let's go. Then DSP's going to go on about how he didn't see the Barbie movie and he's not a model. He doesn't care how he looks.
You are Knuff, Phil. Can you say it? Can you say that you're Knuff, Phil?
I never saw the Barbie movie, so I know of the meme. I didn't hear the song though. It's a whole fucking production.
Just say it. Just say it, Phil. Say you're Knuff. You're secure with yourself.
Of course, I'm secure with myself. I don't care. I never cared about how I looked on stream. Like never, but people always made fun of me and shit. I'm like, do you not get it that I don't give a shit? Like, why would I? I'm a dude playing fucking video games on the internet. I'm not a model. I'm not trying to fucking compete with people looks wise. I'm and I'm happily married. I'm not trying to fucking, seduce people on the internet. We're getting all fucking hungry and shit and tossing money.
You're saying you're Knuff, Phil.
I guess I'm Knuff. Yes.
Yeah, let's go. By the way, Scuba Steve.
Then we have Otter, PPP. They spent 4 minutes going over last week's show. If people had wanted to know what went on, they would have watched last week. DSP, so unnecessary. Now keep in mind, this is the guy who recaps his recaps, tells them on the daily wrap, and then on the next day, recaps everything he did in the day and recaps the recap of the daily wrap. But it's unnecessary when WWE does it. David Davidson, the last 10 minutes has been 8 and some minutes of PPP talking, and the remainder has been Phil mostly just saying, uh-huh, or right, or okay. He had like 1 point to talk to. Then we have Barrett Wells, laughing at smart guys because it seems like Triple P is hopeful DSP's dented whales will show up and shower them with money. And DSP is hoping that Kino whales show up to shower the stream with money. Neither wants to give up their cash cows, but leech off the other. Then we have Jesus Has Guns. Apparently the wrestling show is just a fat kid bullying an autistic kid. Shit, I might have to tune in. And then the big announcement that DSP talked about in the last section. If you give them $500 a show, they will do a second AEW wrestling show midweek. That is right. He will do 2 wrestling shows a week. Then DSP got to the $500 goal. However, his incentive to reaching $1,000 on that goal, which is tier 2 for smart guys and doesn't count towards any goals, is that he will do a WWE 2K fantasy match between 2 NPCs of Phil and Duty streams.
We might also do the match between Duty and Phil anyway. That might be the goal, but we'll discuss it as a DSP community there. And we'll come back. It was a pleasure doing the show with you again.
And then, just like last week, PPP talked for 71.27% of the stream. 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 37 seconds. DSP talked for 28.73% of the stream. 45 minutes and 50 seconds. Now keep in mind, most of the time DSP talked, it was duh, yeah, right? I haven't watched wrestling in 50,000 years. And shouting out contributions. Then of course, once PPP is gone, DSP drops the fake guy persona and goes back to being toxic again. And DSP now says, who cares if PPP believes I sold Down from the Rafters or not? PPP just loves rubbing it in my face every time we do a show together. Ack.
Does he believe me about selling the Down from the Rafters account? I don't think he does, and I don't think he cares. Let me put it this way, all right? The only people who actually care about Down from the Rafters are morons at this point. No one cares, you get it, right? Like, it's a running joke, and we bring it up because the detractors bring it up. Just like the Wolverine toy, that's a detractor meme, get it? That's why we're doing it, to get a rise out of them, because then it makes more content. No one cares about Down from the Rafters. You don't care if I own it or don't. You don't care if I spend money on the game or not, so who fucking cares, right? It doesn't matter. It's completely pointless.
Then remember how DSP doesn't care about detractors, he doesn't give them any attention, it doesn't matter what they say. Well now, DSP is saying that how he wants Restreamers put in jail. They're doing all this illegal stuff. And then goes on to defend the SOK. That is right, Sons of Kojima. DSP in 2025 is now defending them because they're not as bad as his current detractors.
No, illegal restreaming absolutely hurts because there's two reasons why. Number one, more views equates to more attention, equates to more engagement, which would send more people to the channel and rank me better in YouTube search. And also, I get ad revenue on it. I get none of that because the illegal restreamers, okay? Number two, you may not realize this, but if you have more viewers, okay, now you can play with the audience a bit. Like, for example, did you notice what Ashton was doing? He was basically bringing up some detractor memes and stuff during Smart Guys, which I'm totally okay with. We've talked about it. So he does it. It's like, okay, we're joking about it. We're having a good time. We're razzing each other. We're talking about man boobs and shit. Who cares? It's funny, right? Yeah, but I don't benefit from it because those people are watching an illegal restream. So they're not going to leave the illegal restream to come to the stream and then dono. Get it? If they were here because there were no illegal restreams, then they would dono. But they don't do it because they're not on the stream. So it does hurt me a ton. These people are fucking pieces of shit. It's funny because back in the day, people like the Sons of Kojima were totally against doing shit like that. Illegal restreams? Absolutely not. Monetizing their content? Absolutely not. As crazy as those people were, they had some kind of a code of moral values. The people today are just scumbags. They're just pieces of shit who will steal and break the law because they think that they're immune to the law, which they are not. Again, I've said it once, I'll say it again. They better be lucky that I never hit the lotto, because then I'm just gonna fucking sue them on principle. I won't care about getting a few pennies from them. I'll care about throwing them in jail. Detractors are sad with the $2 super chat says, the detractors are much worse now than they were when they were SOK. No, listen, today it is 100% shameless, not intending to say, oh, Phil's a bad person, a bad content creator, because all the shit that they used to say doesn't apply anymore. Oh, Phil's lazy. Well, I'm not. I work hard and you can tell. Oh, Phil doesn't even put his money back into the business. Obviously, I have, right? We can go through a laundry list of the stuff they used to say about me. None of it applies anymore. Yet there they are, still making the same bullshit content, still lying every day, defaming me every day because they can monetize it. They are scum. Like, they are the lowest form of content creation and the lowest form of human. But, you know, today things are different. You know, back then it was like, oh, like we're crusading against Phil, you know? But now it's not like that anymore. So.
See, this is the thing you don't understand, Phil, is if there was no Restreamers, those people would not watch you, and they definitely would not support you. You are absolutely delusional about that. Because you know what would happen if there was no Raw Phil or other people restreaming you? They'd go to the next cow. They look at somebody else. They find how boring you are, they wouldn't care about you, and your career would die. But the question you have to ask yourself right now, Phil, is why? Why are people leaving your streams or not even going to your streams at all and going to the Restreamers? What makes them go, okay, I'd rather be in this community over the other community. I'd rather watch through this channel and not DSPs. You have to ask yourself, why, Phil? Why do they not want to come to your actual stream? And it's you. You're the answer, Phil. It's you. You're the problem. Then DSP goes on to explain why he's Kino's punching bag.
I need it. It's long in the back. It's getting to the point where I can't control it, where it gets puffy in certain spots because it's getting long. So I definitely need a trim. Why don't I roast PPP on Smart Guys? It seems one-sided. Do you want to know the truth? Because I don't, outside of our interactions, outside of hanging out with him either on Kino Casino or when we together roasted RTU or playing some games together or whatever, I don't know him that well. You know what I mean? Like, they know, those guys at Kino know way more about me because I've been a running meme of the internet, you know, for so long. I don't hardly know anything about them. You know, I learned a lot actually about Andy when we were watching the Medicare documentary because Andy was a part of it in there, you know? So, you know, what can I do? All I can make fun of him for, what, he's fat? I mean, I think that's kind of a stupid joke, quite frankly. You know? Kermit Jellybelly did a £1.99 super chat. Does Ashton actually believe you then it's a joke? Believe who? Believe me about what? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you mean. I don't know what you're specifically asking.
And because Smart Guys does not count towards the goals, he now has 2 different goals. So at least $500 on Smart Guys, and then immediately following that, he has a $150 goal on Indiana Jones. So $650 technically on the first stream, and you wonder why we call them dense.
All the guys over at the casino that I said was up. I hope they're having a good night. And all of you have a good night. I'll see you in the morning for the podcast in Indy, okay? Thank you guys. Hopefully tomorrow we can get back on track with the goals too. You know, we didn't hit goals on either stream. It would be great to start hitting the goals again so we can do the DSP tries it, okay? Thanks. Have a good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
And we get to the late stream, and the chat was complaining about begging, DSP and Triple P begging during the wrestling show. DSP defends Triple P and talks about how there's a double standard for when DSP bags and when Kino Casino bags, and why it's okay for them and not him.
Sarah, listen, here's the deal, and here's what you probably don't realize, Sarah. All right, over at Kino Casino, that's how that goes. What Sarah is saying is, she says, were you disappointed that when you were doing Smart Guys earlier that it was derailed by so many cries for support? Well, if you didn't notice, that's actually how they operate over on Kino Casino. For those who don't know, Kino Casino probably makes 3 times as much money as I do. Just being honest, okay? That's how they are, and it's completely accepted, and they don't have any problems with it over there. They have 3,000+ viewers a night. They probably have 3,000 viewers right now. I think they're streaming right now, right? And no one has an issue with it. It's only if I do it that people have issue with. It's okay for them, no criticism whatsoever. They're good with it. But me, I'm like a heinous villain because every once in a while I ask you guys for support. They literally do that every night. So for you guys, perhaps, who don't watch Kino Casino and don't watch other kinds of content, you'll watch Smart Guys, you're like, damn, Ashton's really going in hard asking for the donos. That's what they do, and that's why they make so much. You get it? It's like they say, ask and you shall receive. So they do. Get it? But again, I'm the heinous villain of the internet. I'm the one who has 17 documentaries made on him. I'm the one who has thousands of insanely unhinged, mentally stunted detractors because I'm a villain somehow, but when other people do it, it's totally cool, right? It makes no fucking sense. It's more so the method at which it is done that people have issue with. You don't think that Ashton does it way more harder than I do? Are you deaf? Like, seriously, he was heavy on it. And listen, he knows what he's doing. He's the pro at doing this stuff, right? So I'll let him roll with it. I don't have an issue with it. I think it's people who take it so seriously, they're the ones who really, And the other thing is, like, I kind of feel like the way the show has gone so far is that basically within that last 30 minutes is when we get like a big dono at the end of it, and we're going to probably hit our goal, at least our tier 1 goal, probably every time we do the show. So I'm not too worried about it. But, over on Kino, they constantly try to expand what they're doing. They try to get more because they do more crazy stuff. Like, their streams go super long and stuff. And you guys know I can't do that. I don't have the freedom like they do to free up my schedule all day. I have a family. I have responsibilities. I can't be here all day, every day. But, I'm willing to do some extra stuff in order if we hit a big support goal or whatever. So, but yeah, again, it's all good when they do it, right? It's all good. It's fine. No issues whatsoever. But if Phil does it, he's a heinous villain. So it's really, if anything, it's really starting to open up my eyes. Like I told you guys in the last few years, all the things that people have criticized me for, and then I find out everyone else does it anyway, or the things that people demanded of me, and then I find out no one does it. Like, Dunce Educator says, when did Kino Casino declare bankruptcy? Oh, you see, they didn't have to because they didn't have all their lives ruined by fucking losers on the internet who basically made their entire YouTube channels unprofitable because of false copyright strikes. They didn't have their entire reputations ruined on the fucking internet by thousands of online stalkers. They didn't have people restream them constantly so they can't make any revenue on their live streams. I mean, I could go on and on. I'm the unique case because I'm the one who gets harassed, so you can go fuck yourself.
Then there was audio problems with PPP during the wrestling show, and who does DSP blame it on? He blames it on Triple P. We have Dunce Filter. Weird, he doesn't sound like that on his own stream. They're live right now, Felton Bo Blacks. DSP, yeah, sadly that was on his end. I did have some Discord volume issues at first, but that got settled. But his mic was jumping around for sure. We have Chimchar, which is weird, cause Phil was laser focused on the tech side, didn't catch it. DSP, read above. I can't make a mic work, lol. I can only fix my own. You can't filter the mic of someone else. Yeah, my setup was exactly the same as last week, so I think he adjusted his mic for his own show, but then it messed with ours or something. No idea really. Then we have this in the chat. Liquid Truffles. Blastoid91 blocks everyone and spams emotes to himself. And he has some gay little list of people being naughty in chat he forwards to Phil. It probably gets spam filtered. Then DSP. Nobody sends me lists. Sounds like someone is writing loser fan service again. Yeah, the person that's writing erotic stuff in your chat, Phil, goes by 3 letters, just saying. And then we get the Marvel vs. Capcom, where DSP says, rollback netcode sucks. High tier characters can block, low tier characters cannot. Then Meow Block, very first thing I see when I open up his stream.
Oh, you got out. Fuck. Oh, yes.
Oh yes!
And just like an endless loop, DSP always comes back to trash talking about FGC, and he says, the FGC is a bunch of brainwashed people that have to believe that rollback netcode is the answer, that they won't accept that it's bad.
It's fun to play this stuff, man, the old school stuff. It's a shame I can't play at a high level, you know? You just can't. Like, literally, the people who you see who were beating me before, that's literally, oh, they're just triangle dash. And you can't do anything. So if I sit here and I practice the triangle dash over and over, I can just sit there on someone and just do it over and over and kick them infinitely and they won't be able to block. The game is, if anything, this game should have exposed how bad rollback netcode is. But again, the FGC, I hate to say it, no offense, Jocko, man, but the FGC is such a bunch of brainwashed people that they just have to believe that rollback netcode is the answer, that they won't accept that it's bad. This collection outright proves it, that it doesn't work. This predictive rollback is too slow to block rushdown. But, oh, it's the best thing. Like, come on. The whole collection's ruined by it. Abdullah, I haven't played this on Fightcade, so I have no idea. I can't play on Fightcade, sadly, because it's not secure. People can get your IP from it.
Then DSP loses to a random due to lag. It's still the player's fault, and they're an idiot. Phil loses to a confirmed pro player due to lag. It's only the game's fault, not the player. And these two matches happen back to back. Look at that. Marvel vs. Capcom. 206 people watching. What a renaissance, dude. And then Smart Guys, the big hot thing that DSP thinks is hot. 257 people watching this morning. Amazing, amazing. Then we have Gamerface Gaming. Rollback netcode should be abolished.
So bad. He's jumping and pressing buttons. I'm literally just holding back and it's hitting me. Like, this game is terrible. Fucking rollback needs to be fucking abolished. It's the worst netcode.
And that brings us to Wednesday. And then on YouTube, they introduced something new. So you can do what's called goals, not like DSP's goals. So you can set a timer, and if you receive a certain amount of super chats in that time limit, then you tell your audience what your reward's gonna be. So DSP decided in 1 hour, if he gets 5 $10 super chats, he will do an embarrassing dab. This is bottom of the barrel right here. Then it was amazing. DSP was in his chat on time. I know, shocking, right? We have Crispy, early stream today. DSP, not really early, just actually on time, lol. No tech issues or delays today. Then the very first thing DSP talks about, of course, is support. Despite making over $500 on Smart Guys, he did not make the goals for his gameplay streams. And DSP says, we didn't hit any goals yesterday. And Otter adds on, you hit the $500 goal for Smart Guys and got $84 for 90 minutes gameplay yesterday and $54 in the evening. Incredible greed. Then DSP has to do everything in the lamest way possible. He hurts his foot trying to spin in his chair.
What should I do? They say their suggestion is host a Q&A session. Well, we could do that. So is a chair spin? I don't think I can actually spin in this chair. No, I can't. Look. I can. Yeah, look. Oh, my foot. Oh, I put my foot right into the stand. That was painful. I put my foot directly into this stand right here. Ow. Well, now I'm going to be rubbing that for a while. So I don't think chair spin's a good idea. Ow.
And then once in a while, DSP has a recon every single time how much he gets from dollar tips. Because he wants more. I remember at one point even said to somebody, it would be helpful if you gave higher amounts.
You know, I'm appreciative that they want to do content with me and stuff, but, you know, it's just not to scale. You know, for me, it's like, dude, those dollar tips do add up. They do. Like, here's the truth. All right. With the $1.10 tip or whatever. So out of that, it's about $1, and then there's a little bit of a cut that's removed. So I get, you know, maybe like 80 cents or something out of that $1. But hey, if that person did 10 or 20 of those today, it adds up to like 15, 20 bucks. That's a good chunk of my goal. Right? But hey, if people want to change the way that we do stuff, we could. But I want to be sure that I'm not offending people too, and then people get pissed or whatever.
And then throughout the day, he kept bugging people. Come on guys, let's hit the goal. I want to do DSP tries it tomorrow. Come on guys, I want to eat fast food tomorrow. All through the day, that was his concern, that they're not going to be able to eat DSP tries it. Then someone asked him to do death counters in Dark Souls. Which, by the way, Phil, I'm just going to say this. It's one of the reasons people watch your originals. It's because they want to see how many times you failed at it. It's exciting to laugh at that. And DSP says, I don't do death counters. Nobody wants them. I've seen big streamers and they don't do that. And we have bread and sausage. Yes, Phil, because they barely die. Dying or difficulty is not the feature of their streams anymore. They are pros. You are not. Then we have DSP talking about the ban on TikTok that goes in effect Sunday. In the States, Slow Wi-Fi Side Phil talks about the TikTok being banned. He says, it's sad about our relations with China, coming from the I don't care what China says guy, who has an infamous clip from back in the day. If you have TikTok, better get a life.
The truth, I've never used TikTok. I know what TikTok is used for. I've seen TikToks before on social media that were taken from TikTok and posted on X and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the truth is there are tons of other apps and businesses and social media that do exactly the same thing TikTok does, but they're not Chinese owned. So they want to keep it, what do they say? Let's keep it in the family, right? Let's keep it in America. Let's make sure that if we're going to be stealing people's demographical, geographical, you know, online activity, you know, data, make sure it goes to American companies so we benefit and that the Chinese don't. That's essentially what this is, you know? So yeah, pretty interesting. Will it actually happen? I think so. At this point, I don't see an interjection happening by Sunday. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. But, well, there you have it. TikTok, if you guys use TikTok, I'm sorry, you're going to have to get a life. You're going to have to close your phone, go outside, and touch grass because the ticking and the talking is about to stop. Okay.
They say rashness brings success to few.
In China, they say Chiki Chang Wang Charlie Chan Chika Chaka Choka Cha. Shut the fuck up. I don't care what they say in China. In China, they say, cat very delicious. Oh, come on, I'm gonna do that.
And of course, another day, another stream, another rant about how the detractors are breaking the law, and they will get what's coming to them.
So someone tipped $1 and says, what about your detractors? Why, you know, my detractors are literally breaking the law. You understand that? When you're making content, that's what I just said. I said, listen, you don't hate on other success unless it's harmful to others. Literally, my detractors break the law on a daily basis. Defamatory, / outright slanderous content that is lies. There's a difference between we criticize someone for something they did versus we just outright lied. Okay? Anytime that they've outright made a lie up, that's actually against the law. Okay? Every time that they've illegally restreamed me, that's against the law. Every time that they stole content and didn't make it a transformative work, that's against the law. All of that content should not be allowed on YouTube, and anyone has a right to call that out. Now, there's a difference between being jealous and just saying, you guys are outright breaking the law and think you can get away with it. Well, it ain't gonna last forever. Okay? Whether or not it's me or someone else that takes care of it, someone's going to take care of it eventually. So I hope that they're enjoying their gravy train now, because the gravy train's going to dry up. Me, I'll always be around able to make content, no matter what, because I've got unlimited resources of things to draw upon.
Another dented board meeting on whether or not to read tips below a $5 amount starts mid-stream.
Someone just says, just stop reading the $1 tips. You know, I could. We talked about this the other day, did we not? That these smaller contributions, you know, it seems like some people like to take advantage of them, and they want to just say stupid shit that no one wants to hear, including me. I mean, I don't want to be reading this, but it's kind of like, well, I want to read every contribution. I want to make sure everyone feels appreciated, but then the people take advantage, right? So I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you think I should stop reading? Maybe I should just say, thanks for the $1 contribution and just move on? Or should I actually, like, read and respond? I don't know. Swagonito says, Ashton already said ban dollar tips. I know he did. You know, with them over there, those, you have to understand something. With the guys from Kino Casino, those guys are much bigger than me. Literally every night that they stream, they're getting 3,000 viewers, okay? I get, what, 300? So they're 10 times bigger than me, okay? They get such level of contribution. I mean, regularly they get people coming in. It's a natural thing to drop 50 bucks on them, 10 subs, you know? That's wild. That's, for me, that's a crazy, very generous contribution, way over the top, you know, from what people would usually do. And I'm so appreciative of that. For them, that's like the normal contribution. So for someone to come in and give like one sub, they'd be like, what is this? You know? So that's it. It's scale though. Like, I'm not to scale of them. You know, I'm appreciative that they want to do content with me and stuff, but you know, it's just not to scale. You know, for me, it's like, dude, those dollar tips do add up. They do. Like, here's the truth. All right, with the $1.10 tip or whatever. So out of that, it's about $1, and then they take there's a little bit of a cut that's removed. So I get, you know, maybe like 80 cents or something out of that $1. But hey, if that person did 10 or 20 of those today, it adds up to like 15, 20 bucks. That's a good chunk of my goal. Right? But hey, if people want to change the way that we do stuff, we could. But I want to be sure that I'm not offending people too, and then people get pissed or whatever. Jinx says, didn't we all agree to not read anything below a $5 tip? Well, we talked about it the other day, but I don't think we came to a big consensus agreement or anything, you know?
And it looks like DS Politics is gone, banned forever. And the reason is because he now has the wrestling podcast with Triple P. He calls him Triple P. But let's be honest, the support, the attendance was all dropping over time. And he had the worst takes ever. It doesn't matter if you're from left, right, or center. Everyone hated his takes.
Bring back DS Politics right now, I don't know, and here's why. All right, everything's been crazy recently, as you know. Number one, I had my year-end series. Then I started Smark Guys. Tomorrow night, I have to take a night off to do the final private react video. And it's looking like I may actually be appearing for an interview or two soon. So with all of that going on, and by the way, a possibility of doing more Smark Guys, I don't know when I'll have what I'm gonna have time for. I also want to bring back the DSP throwback nights where we react to my old playthrough. So it's like I've got a million things going on right now, and I'll be honest, I haven't really been following politics because I've been so busy with a million other things. You know, when I started the politics show, other things were kind of slowing down, and now all of a sudden things are like picking up for the beginning of the new year. So I honestly don't know. I don't know, you know, if I wasn't busy with a million other things right now, I might actually be like, yeah, I'm gung-ho, we're doing politics next week. But at this point, like, I'm not even caught up yet with all the stuff I'm doing. Like, example, I think next week I have a day off, an extra day off, because I think my wife and I have a day where we have appointments and stuff, but I don't even know what day it is. I'm just, like, so backlogged and trying to catch up. So right now, it's the last thing on my mind. I might bring it back, but I'm not, like, in a rush.
Then DSP discovered there was movies coming out in production for Goonies and Gremlins. And of course this sent him off on a rant, an old man ranting at the clouds about how no one wants to see this, what are you doing? And it's absolutely pure DSP.
New Gremlins development now in 2025. When I think fresh, hot new content, some of the most amazing, creative content that could possibly be made in 2025, I think about movie franchises from 40 years ago. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I couldn't think of anything better to make in this modern era than reviving dead movie franchises that are 40 years old. Now, here's the thing. I want you to understand something. These movie franchises are great, okay? Gremlins had 2 movies. The first movie was a hybrid comedy, horror, holiday film. It stormed everyone by surprise. It actually flopped at the box office because there was another movie that came out that same weekend that like destroyed it. I forget what it is. It was like a really popular movie at the time. But the movie got legs and became a cult classic. So much so that everyone started watching and talking about it, and then it got a sequel that was so campy and over the top that people loved that one too. And even that one got like a following. But then it just said, okay, that's enough. And for everyone to understand, they've been trying to make a Gremlins 3 for a very long time, but it just never got off the ground. Like various reasons kept getting, let's produce it, and then it fell flat, and then it tried again, and then it stopped again. So very curious to see what they're gonna do with it. Obviously, if they make it today, it's gotta be like the most zany movie ever. Don't make it serious in any way. Just make it like a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon. And I think it would actually do well because people would just be like, what the fuck are we watching in 2025 Gremlins, right? But in regards to the Goonies, okay, I'm sorry. The Goonies is a great movie. The Goonies is 100% representative of a different era, the 1980s. Everything in The Goonies oozes 1980s, okay? The cars, the technology, the music, the way the kids dress, the way the people act, it is 100% 1980s. It's like a time capsule of 1980s. It really is. And it doesn't need any further follow-up. It doesn't need a sequel. It doesn't need a prequel. It doesn't need, you know, I compare this to when they just tried to do this with a Christmas Story. They tried it twice with a Christmas Story. This is a movie that's set in a certain time period. It was a 1980s hit. And then they tried to make a sequel and they tried to make a spin-off. No one wants that. Okay, no one. The Goonies is amazing. It is pure 1980s Americana. It's funny, well acted, well written. They even went back. People like the movie so much they went back and found the hidden deleted scenes of stuff that was completely taken out of the movie that would have made the movie even cooler. You know, what are you gonna do with production and stuff? They always cut stuff out of movies. People love it, right? And here's the thing. Lady Charisma makes a good point. I was actually getting to this point. Why do I think they're trying to do this? Because recently something else happened that blew up, that got a lot of attention, and I think that they're trying to basically now use that as the premise to go back and re-explore the past. It's called Stranger Things. Anyway. Calling him Sloth is really fucked up. Well, there's the thing, in the 80s, no one cared. In the 80s, no one was offended by this kind of stuff. They would say, wow, that's really interesting and scary. Because originally the character is meant to be scary. You think that this guy's like a vicious, like almost like a Frankenstein's monster brew, where he's not controllable. But then you find out he's a gentle giant. All he wants to do is be treated nice. Give him a Baby Ruth candy bar. He'll be your best friend, right? So the writing is good, but people are offended. How could you have that in your movie, right? So anyway, there you go. So should Goonies be remade? No. I don't think Goonies should have a prequel, a sequel, a remake. I don't want to see this movie again with new actors and new mannerisms and redone for the modern era. This is fine. This is good. Watch this original movie and fuck anyone who wants to fuck it up. Gremlins, I could see Gremlins 3. The whole premise of Gremlins is zaniness. That these creatures are uncontrollable and they run amok, and that could be a timeless thing. Like that could happen not right now, right? Gremlins take over and everyone's all, you know, gets screwed up. I would be all right. Really, I'd be all right with a new Gremlins movie. In fact, I think I would actually like to see a new Gremlins movie. As long as it's, you know, not a reboot, but, you know, let's have Gremlins 3 or something, right? But not, dude, don't fuck Goonies up. People are just messed up. Again, why are they doing this? It's very simple. There's no originality left in Hollywood. Literally no one in Hollywood has a fucking speck of talent. They just take things from the past and keep rehashing them and redoing them because they don't have any talent to make anything good that anyone wants to see. So you get 7,000 Fast and Furious movies, 14 fucking Transformers movies, redo this, Ninja Turtles 70-second reboot. But do you get anything new that's good? Can you name one thing that's been new and actually really good in the last 10 years? We just mentioned Stranger Things. Why is Stranger Things good? Because it's a nostalgia trip to the 80s, bro. Right? Exactly. Everyone's stuck in copy pasta. Everyone just copy pastes everything. And it's sad because, as I've stated, when you copy something, think about a photocopier, all right? So you take the original, you put it down on the photocopier, and now you've got your copy, and it looks close to the original. It's not perfect, but it's close. But now you take the copy of the copy, and then you copy the copy of the copy, and then you copy the copy of the copy of the copy. And every time that you keep copying, the quality reduces to the point where it looks nothing like the original. It's just washed out garbage, right? That's what's happened with Hollywood, is that it's just the same shit over and over, but it's not good anymore. It's just the same shit. Oh, it's nostalgia bait, right? How many movies are having the legacy sequel now? Do we really need new Indiana Jones movies in the modern era? You know, no, we don't need any of this shit.
Then we're getting closer and closer to the hats, the vests, the gunners coming back. We have Theo. DSP went from saying he phased out wearing a hat because it's dumb and childish, to now saying he will go back to wearing hats for super chat goals. Damn, it's like DSP only says shit in the moment. Then DSP went on to say that he used to travel around the globe to play Street Fighter. And keep in mind, he said the only place he's ever been outside of the United States was Newfoundland, Canada. Then we have Real Juan Bennett, who shows DSP thought this plane was real, and shows the character selection screen from Street Fighter. Then this happens every single stream, all the time. Phil interrupting the stream to mess with his hair again.
It doesn't make sense, you know, to be doing it, but that's all they do. They have no talent. So just rehash the talent of the past when you have no true talent to make something original in the present. It's pretty sad. It is. It's pretty sad. Once again, my hair is sticking straight up. It's right here. I have a lump of hair right here that's sticking up in my head. You see that? And it's like I can't do, if I have a brush, I can fix it, but I can't fix it with my hands. Oh, you know what I can do here? I'll puff up this side. Actually, that's a little better. If I puff up that side, it's just annoying. I see it on camera. I'm like, my hair's fucking sticking up again every day. Anyway, all right.
Then DSP, the guy who says he doesn't waste people's time, unlike other streamers, left the stream to brush his hair. Then talking about the previous night not hitting the goal on either gameplay stream, he said, I didn't hit the goal, I'm not complaining, I'm so happy still. Then Meowblock adds on to that, try using this type of guilt trip and manipulation in other parts of life. Imagine going on a date and saying, I know we didn't have sex, but I'm so happy with you, I'm not complaining that we didn't fuck. Then we get to the podcast audit. Biggest chunk of this at 19% was begging / goals / support, followed by Q&A, DSP news, shoutouts, Street Fighter 6, Until Dawn reaction, daily rap recap, schedule, intro, off screen, playing with RGB / mic setting / background, robust, flavorful content, dude. Then look at that, Indiana Jones time, 181 people watching. What a renaissance, dude. Then we have Piece of Peace. This dude is a fucking goblin.
Wow. Amazing.
Lucas. I'm gonna get you out of this, pal.
I must admit, Dr. Jones, I was not expecting the Giants to attack. It gave me quite a headache.
What did you do to him?
Horse tranquilizer.
Then we have Poem Josh. DSP is sick of you damn kick memers. Grow up.
Face Orange Biting Nails. You know, it'd be great if you guys could get better names on Kick, like real fucking names instead of names based on memes about me. I don't know why the Face Orange, because I don't have an orange face. I'm not Donald Trump. But anyway.
And then Piece of Peace. Jesus. Imagine being as much of an unfunny retard as this guy.
The Kick Kingdom? The YouTube gang in the Kick Kingdom? There you go. I mean, I am a king, so we should have a Kick Kingdom, right? The Kick Click. The Kick Click. Oh, Game Boy said the Kick Cocks. Oh, well, here's the thing. Right now, both sides are kind of looking like cucks because we've only had like one super chat tonight. But maybe if there were some contributions, we'd start to see, you know, the real competition. Who's going to actually support the stream tonight and who's just going to sit around, you know, moping about with their dick flapping very, very limp between their legs. You know what I mean? Who would be the first to step up and actually contribute and get that momentum going for their side? The YouTube gang or the Kick Click? The Kick Click. The Kick Kingdom.
And look at that. Late stream, killer frequency, 158 people watching. That's very robust, dude. Then DSP always craps on other streamers because their reload saves because they didn't like the outcome or they're trying to get the best outcome. And he always says, to be a real streamer, you have to stick with your consequences of your actions. Whatever you pick in the game, that should be your choice and ride it out. Now, here's DSP from Wednesday night. He's unhappy with the outcome, so he's loading the previous save game.
Thanks again, Forrest.
Yep.
Oh, God.
So now we know. I told you it was Dawn.
Gallows Creek.
So let's reload, because obviously I suspected as much. So let's reload the scenario. 32 minutes. Yep.
Music.
And would you look at that? $130 from guess who? Iron Chef Sakai. And earlier, DSP said, no matter how much money you give me, I'm not gonna mod you. So Iron Chef Sakai sent them more money. And you can tell there's something mentally not right with Iron Chef Sakai / OIC. Look at that, one person carried DSP to the goals on both streams yesterday, ICS, with $100 and $130 super chat on the streams. Well done, champ. Daddy still doesn't love you though. Then of course in the kick chat, Billy Bum Shiner 88, try another 1K ICS, that might work. Then look at that, Kino Casino made a whole video about DSP coping over having man boobs. And of course, because he's a little bitch, DSP retweets it. And that brings us to Thursday, which is a half day, which means DSP only has one stream. And if you know DSP, you know what comes next. Ding ding ding, only stream of the day. DSP is expecting $300 on his stream to make up for not streaming later. Now keep in mind, as Otter points out, Slayer paid Phil $300 for the private reacts. Amazing greed. Then DSP goes on to say, he's pretty sure he needs an extra day off next week because he's pretty sure he has appointments and stuff set up. Poem Josh, yeah, pretty sure. That's how appointments work. They just maybe happen, Phil. You don't know, it's a mystery. Gee, I wonder what he's pulling here. Yeah, the whole thing is AKA, give me more money so I can take another day off, so I can spend all day drinking and playing WWE Champions. And look at that, we're now recycling DSP Tries It ideas. He now wants to eat Taco Bell yet again for DSP Tries It. And look at that, classic Lux box, $5. He wants $1,500 from his dents to buy a $5 food box. There's a reason they're called dents. Then DSP, the self-proclaimed recovered alcoholic, says now when he hits goal number 80, he wants to do a casual stream where he drinks. Think about this. It went from I never drink anymore, I casually drink, I only drink on special occasions, I only drink during marathon events, I drink me and my wife off camera, I drink on my day off. I might start doing DSP Tries It, drink edition. Well, if you pay me, I'll drink casually on stream. You see where this is going, Phil? Do you see the slippery slope that you're going down?
At 80, we have an option. All right? We're going to do DSP Tries It, but what do we want to do? Do we want to do another food item? Do we want to do something different? Like, do you guys have any idea of an item that I could maybe do a test of that's not food? Like a product or something I could do? Or do you have any ideas for maybe some liquor I could try? Like maybe some beer or some kind of a hard liquor? And the reason I say that is someone expressed, the desire to see something like that a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, I would do it, but I need to know ahead of time so that I can go get that liquor on my day off and have it for when we hit the goals. And what I would do is like a late night stream where perhaps I would actually drink during the late stream and while I'm playing a game or whatever, but I would make it a more casualized stream so it's not a big deal, right?
Then DSP is gonna rant about the new Nintendo Switch 2 console, and his big hang-up on the console is because of the colors. That is right, DSP doesn't like that the colors are blue and pink.
Game Boy, how are you? Good to see you. Yavana says Peach and Baby Blue are marketed to women. There are more women on Switch than any other console. Yeah, well, I don't care. I'm a dude. I don't give a shit. I'm a guy, and I want colors that I like. I don't care what they put on that thing. They could cover that thing with sparkles and glitter, rainbows and unicorns. As long as I can make it look nice for me and my tastes, I'm okay with it. But if they limit me to that, I'm going to be upset. I want it to look appeasing to me. I'm a male, and God damn it, that should be enough. All right.
Then DSP thinks the peripheral manufacturers actually have a Switch 2 console, and the one that was shown at CES 3 was an actual functioning Switch 2. And then PWOP adds on to it, has Phil never heard of a dev kit? 16 years covering gaming news, and he's still this clueless. Yet he thinks his opinion on the gaming industry means anything. Then DSP has discontinued and cancelled the suggestion box. He says it's no longer needed because we have new games incoming. Now Phil, the suggestion box was not about games, it was about your setup, it's about how you act on stream, it's the way you're toxic towards people. It had nothing to do with the games. And then as Dragon points out, he rejected every single idea. I don't need to do that, you don't know what you're talking about, why would you suggest this? Stop it, I'm done. You're banned, bye, gone forever.
Cool. All right. Now as for suggestion box. As for suggestion boxes, basically, every once in a while, I would draw upon those when I needed input on stuff. But you guys have been doing a great job, I feel, of coming on the podcast and actually suggesting things live, which has been great. So really, I haven't had the need to look upon the suggestion box in a long time. I'm not saying I would never use one again. I'm just saying right now, it doesn't seem very pertinent that we're doing pretty good right now, no? We got good playthroughs going. New ones are about to start. I'm going to tell you about that in a second because we just finished 2 playthroughs yesterday.
Then DSP goes on to talk about how declawing the back paws of a cat with the front paws is typical. And then Poem Josh goes on to say it's not. And even back when declawing was an acceptable practice, he would have been told not to do it or rejected.
Because typically if a cat gets declawed, he gets declawed both front and back. Okay? So it's weird that he was only front declawed. He doesn't realize the power of the claws on his back feet because he doesn't have claws on his front paws.
Then, of course, this happens after where Jasper climbs on Phil with his back paws.
Ow! He just clawed me so bad. Jasper, did you really have to do that? Did you really have to climb up me there and claw me? I wonder how bad he clawed me because that really hurt. I might have to go disinfect in a second.
Then the topic of David Lynch passing away came up, and we have Theo. DSP had so many streams where he talked about people passing away, but David Lynch, he only mentioned him in an unrecorded part of the podcast and said, yeah, he did Twin Peaks. Okay, cool. Wow, the disrespect. And during the height of his renaissance, when people liked him, and nobody was talking negative about him and all the money was flowing in, DSP would say, oh, now that I have all this money, I can buy any game I want and play it, and it doesn't matter, because I have your support. Well, now, Dynasty Warriors Origin comes out, which was on his list of games to play. However, he's not playing it, because it's $70. But dude, it's your renaissance, dude.
Am I interested in a game like Dynasty Warriors? No. We just looked at it yesterday. It's $70 for Dynasty Warriors Origins. Like, I don't think I want to drop $70 for a game that admittedly I know I'm going to be bored of after like 2 sessions. You know, it's just going to be me chopping a bunch of enemies.
Then DSP's going to show off his pocket knife and not understand what all the gadgets are about. He is clueless, and I guarantee if something happens, he's going to freak out and just throw the thing at somebody.
Really? Marine X says I do pocket knife content and EDC stuff. I don't know what EDC means. What pocket knife do you carry? My Amazon Box Warrior is Benchmade Bailout. I have 2 pocket knives that I use. What an interesting question. First of all, I got my good old-fashioned, multi-purpose Swiss Army knife, which I use for many different things. This Swiss Army knife, you get so many tools and things on it that you can end up using for various different things. So there you go, a multi-purpose knife, and I've had this for many, many years, and I still use it to this day daily for stuff, okay? But my go-to sharp knife for cutting things that I need to cut that are, like, is it box opener, is this bad boy right here. I'm not sure what company it is. I've owned it for many years as well. It's actually quite nice, so it's almost like a gunmetal, and it's basically kind of a flip blade. Auto snaps into place. Oh, here you go, it says right on it, is Beretta. It's a Beretta knife. And it currently has, ew, it has sticky glue from tape on it. Ew, I gotta clean it. That's disgusting. It's a Beretta knife. There you go. It's very sharp, and it has grooves to cut, like wire or rope. You can cut there, or it's very sharp there. And also this too, it has a what do you call it? Right there that you can cut things with as well, like a smaller version of the knife on the other side or whatever. And it snaps into place and it holds. Pretty nice knife. I've had this for many years. I don't know where I got it. I actually don't remember. I might have got it online. And it's got that locking mechanism. Now it's locked in place, and then you have to use your thumb to slide that to the side, and then it can fold back into place. So it's actually a quick lock snap system. Beretta knife. Pretty nice. Is it a bottle opener? It could be. There might be a bottle opener on the top. It probably is, right there. Yeah. Most gun companies don't make knives. They sell their name to a Chinese company. I wouldn't be surprised if this is made in China. I don't think it says it on there though. Oh, guys, see, it's sharp. I just went like this, and it caught my skin. It's really sharp. Oh, here, this is what I was thinking. There's another knife on the back of it that you can use to cut things. So you could put things in there and it'll cut it. So you could cut something there, or you can use the serrated part to cut a rope. So it has many uses. It's quite a good knife. I've had this for many, many years, and I always have these in the office because that's where I use them most. For seatbelt or rope. Right, yeah, exactly. Like a seatbelt slicer if you need to get out of a car. Yeah. Trap cutter. Escape a seatbelt in a car accident. Ah. I don't put my belt on in the office, though. So I ride belt free in here. Don't report.
Then DSP got his Jersey mics sponsored by Iron Chef Sakai. And we have Meow Block. It's one thing to look past the begging, but the fact that his dents don't call out how fucking disgusting he is when he's eating is insane to me. The amount of smacks is out of control. Now, to be fair, they have called him out in the past. There was one person, I believe, was telling DSP how disgusting it is he eats with his mouth open, and DSP mocked the person, banned them, and then just loudly, openly mouth chewed. It was absolutely disgusting. Then it looks like another game that DSP might drop is Stalker 2, where he goes on to say, Stalker 2 is a bad game that he doesn't understand how anyone can like, and it could have been a better game if another dev team made it with more means. Now also keep in mind this is from a Ukrainian company during a war trying to get this game out, and the one thing that DSP basically wants in this game is yellow paint. He wants to know where to go, what to do, how to do it, and also send some tips, dude. Then we have Poem Josh. DSP is about to quit Stalker 2 because he keeps trying to play it like Call of Duty and can't progress. Then goes on to say, Stalker 2 is an unfinished mess of bad programming and nobody can find it fun because it has bad gameplay. And then, as Dragon said, everyone said it was a buggy mess, but Phil liked it and wanted to continue playing it.
No, there's no one here. Look, there's no one who has a line of sight on me. He shot through the pure... Look, he's literally shooting through pure steel and hitting me. Why should I continue to play this fucking piece of fucking shit? It is a piece of shit. The game is innately flawed in its game design. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They passed it off like a finished game. It's not finished. It's a completely unfinished fucking atrocity of a mess of a game. It's an embarrassment. Look, the game's not loaded yet and they're shooting me. The game's not even loaded yet and I'm taking bullets. Something's wrong. It's getting to the point where I think I'm just gonna stop playing. Like, I don't even see the point anymore. Do you? Are we really having so much fun that it's worth this tedious streams of fucking insane boredom, wonkiness, glitchiness, bad programming, bad gameplay? Do we really need to suffer? Because that's all this is at this point. It's like, just torture yourself playing this fucking game. It's quite obvious no one actually asked if the game was fun. It was pure functionality testing. No fun test. Look at this. How did I just lose my entire health bar to an invisible enemy who shot through pure metal?
Then DSP was also complaining because the support was not there. And we have Milk and Dem Calcium Cannons. If someone tipped $500, I bet Phil would miraculously like the game. Then DSP decided to do a daily rap. And he left the leaderboard up. He wasn't at 150 yet. And would you look at that? During the daily rap, he got a $35 tip to hit the goal. And we have Piece of Peace. The funny thing that is, that since there isn't a streak to break anymore, that literally nobody gives a shit, i.e. no stakes. Thanks for the money, dumb fuck. Enjoy your reward of nothing. And that brings us to Friday. Let's see how DSP's week ended. So first we have this in chat. DSP Gaming. Good morning. Setting up here. Let's get up and running. Hello all. Let's get this party started. Everybody, wake up, LOL. Then we see the Chill Podcast, then Dark Souls ones with mods. DSP Gaming, 16 people watching. Then DSP opens up the show by saying he's gonna have an open and honest discussion about Stalker 2. Then DSP last week, I can't afford to take time away from streaming, so I'm quitting private reacts. DSP today, next week I'll be taking the extra day off. Then DSP, brainwashed by all the propaganda from Slayer, goes on to say, there is no pollution and no littering in Singapore.
So, Slayer, thank you. And so he started off today with a $5 contribution, and here's what he has to say, kind of a final closing thought. He says, I want to say I really enjoyed the private react from you yesterday. You covered a lot, and I enjoyed your take on the videos like the K-pop ones, the upgraded visuals and audio that you've had in your setup, and your thoughts on Singapore. That's right, there was actually a flyover of Singapore with a drone, and I basically gave my thoughts about Singapore versus America and different ways that the governments and the culture are and how people are critical of Singapore and its government, but some people probably would very much enjoy living in a country where there's low crime, no pollution, no littering, and they'd be willing to give up their personal freedoms to have that level of cleanliness and safety because they'd rather have less freedoms to live in a better place rather than in a place where there's crime and chaos and crap all over the place. Just saying. Anyway.
Despite DSP saying that he never brings up the trolls, he never talks about them, he doesn't give them attention, yet another stream bringing up the trolls and how they affect him in his personal life that he never talks about.
This person is actually, so Marinex is on a hike. He says, how about for a reward, an IRL vertical stream like going on a hike or sobering and answering questions on a specific topic? You mean like IRL content? Now, see, here's the thing, and sadly, Marinex, you probably, maybe not aware of this. I have these actual crazy people on the internet who do everything they can to try to like mess with my life. Even though I don't really talk about it much, you guys aren't aware of it, but they do. They do all these stupid things behind the scenes. And if I were to try to do anything in person, they would try to find out where I am, what I'm doing, and fuck with it in some way. Okay? If I were to go hiking, they'd probably try to show up and film me and fuck with me. If I said I'm gonna go somewhere, they'd probably like fucking swat the place. You know, that's how fucked up these people are. So I've said over and over the years, my work is going to be based on what I do in this room. I'm not saying that that might not change in the future, but for safety purposes, to make it that people can't mess with the situation, everything that I do is in this office, right? And listen, I just invested a ton of time and money in this office and this setup. I don't want to do IRL content, okay? Maybe that'll change long term, but as of now, I think it's the safest and best thing to do is to not be tempting these idiots to do something stupid, okay?
Then DSP, despite wage quitting Marvel Rivals 3 times, has now said he's gonna bring it back, but you need to show up and support, or else it's gone again. Then it's time for the open and honest discussion about Stalker 2 and how DSP thinks it's too hard for him and it's gone, boom, like that.
The best way I've described this game at this point, 30 hours in, it's this. Imagine you want to play Fallout. So you're playing Fallout and you're having a good time, but while you're playing it, someone walks into your room, picks up a big 2x4, and smashes your testicle sack. That's Stalker 2. It has things that are good. It has moments of enjoyment, and parts of the plot are great, but as you play it, it becomes so fucking annoying, it's like someone is constantly bothering you or causing you pain. Right? I want to play Fallout, but I got a 4-year-old who's grabbing my leg, pulling, going, me. Why are you doing that? Well, that's the equivalent of having to eat the food, take the energy drink, take the anti-rad, heal, put on a bandage because you're bleeding. Oops, you're hungry again. Eat the food. Take this. It's like, me. Well, no, I just want to play your game, you fucking idiots. Why'd you put 7,000 little mini bullshit things in there to make the game annoying? Instead of allowing me to just play the game and enjoy it. And that's the problem with Stalker 2. They had all these ideas that they would make a survival game based around every enemy hits you for insane amounts of damage. You constantly have to be managing your health and your energy. But did they ever have anyone test the game and ask, is this fun?
Then DSP goes on to say that people are not enjoying his Stalker 2 playthrough because he, DSP, is not enjoying it. And then the whole topic of what's going to replace Stalker 2 on the schedule. And DSP has 2 ideas. One is Dino Crisis, but he's worried people won't support an old game. And then the other was Dynasty Warriors, but his problem with that is it's $70 and says that's a lot of money and the game might not work and might not be supported by his audience. Then we have a quote from DSP. Who cares what people on the internet say about you? This is said from Darkside Phil, DSPGAMING, the guy that always brings up his detractors, talks about winning the lottery and suing people, but he doesn't care what people say about him on the internet. Make that make sense. Then someone asked DSP how to deal with trolls on the internet, and DSP is going to give his very DSP advice on that.
So, 420 tip. Not the biggest one of the day, but let's get that added to our total here. So this person says, I want to say thank you for your streams. You help me get through hard days at work. Seriously, Phil, thank you. Do you have tips on dealing with trolls? I'm having a hard time on X dealing with them right now. You know, on X, it's kind of weird. Like, you know, for me, I opened up all my replies and everything on X. I had it said that no one could like reply to my posts for like 2 years. And then I was like, you know, I'll just open it up again. I don't really give a shit. And I'm well aware that, again, a group of mentally stunted, obsessed weirdos responds to everything I post on X negatively. And if you just read the comments in response to any of my tweets, you can laugh your ass off at seeing some of the most mentally deficient people on the planet try to get attention for themselves. I don't read my responses at all. I ignore them. There's actually a way on X to basically, I don't know what it is or what it's called, but I think if X notices that you're getting a ton of bombardment with negativity, you can turn on this mode where you don't see all the responses and everyone. Because I stopped banning people and everything, like blocking them on X a long time ago. I just don't see the responses anymore. I don't. I just use X for business purposes. Like I post up my schedule, I post up when I make a new highlight video and stuff like that. And if there's maybe something like, oh, schedule change or whatever, but that's really what I use X for. I don't really use X for much else. So I actually have no idea. You know, what it is that I have enabled, but there's some mode on X enabled that I just don't see the bad responses, so they don't affect me because I don't care about them. But I don't know what mode that is. I'm not sure how to do it. It just seemed to be something that it popped up one day and was like, hey, do you want to enable this mode? And I was like, yeah. And then it stopped it. But outside of that, just don't pay attention to morons. I don't. You know, you're gonna have a bunch of idiots on X, just fucking ignore them. You know, they're never gonna go away, especially for me, because, you know, these people have become so obsessed with the idea of a negative meme about Darkside Phil that's not real. You know, all the shit that they talk about and they make up is just so dumb. It's just insanely stupid, over-the-top nonsense. So, you know, there's no point to even giving it any attention. You know, like, who cares what someone on the internet says about you? Fuck them. They're insignificant, right? Again, a fart in the wind. You know, don't let it bother you. You know, the thing is, with someone like me, I have an internet presence. That's my job, and that's my, you know, what I need to rely on in order to have any kind of following. So it sucks when you have these morons who are always around being negative, but I don't let it bother me. So, yeah, don't let it bother you. Just ignore the morons. There's always going to be someone trying to bring you down because they're jealous. It's that simple. Okay.
Then DSP's going to retcon why he doesn't like chicken wings. Remember, the original idea was that chicken wings was too much work. Now he's going to say that chicken wings are too messy. Then DSP announced he is no longer doing the $50 private reacts on his Patreon. Then we have Poem Josh. Phil starts promoting $50 private reacts. Slayer opens a YouTube account posting them. Phil announces he is stopping private reacts. Slayer closes YouTube account. Then goes on to say, a reminder, Slayer is a mod. Slayer talks to Phil in Discord. Slayer coordinates and brainstorms ideas with Phil. And then Bone Chicken is Work asks Phil for advice for a house he just purchased. And of course, this is a troll, this is a LARPer. They're trying to get under Phil's skin. They're saying all the safe, generic stuff to razz him, dude. And Phil doesn't even understand this.
Bone-in chicken is work. By the way, if you wonder what some of these names mean, these detractors have started making entire accounts based off of references to things that I've mentioned over the years. I'm not kidding. It's like some of the most crazy, tiny, innocuous, meaningless references, but they're still doing it. Like, I don't like bone-in chicken. It's annoying. I prefer chicken that's boneless because eating around the bones can be messy at like a restaurant. Like, particularly, like, that's why I don't like chicken wings. So this person actually makes an entire name called Bone-in Chicken is Work. Like, that's not hyper fixation and focusing on something that's completely meaningless, right? So anyway, they said they bought a house. Do I have advice for the first 2 weeks? Yes, don't go out and finance all of the furnishings of your house with credit cards with the expectations that you're going to be able to pay them off for the next couple of years because you'll be declaring bankruptcy in about 6 years. That's the best advice I could give you.
Then DSP goes on to talk about how he kind of rushed into doing DS politics. And then goes on to say how if he's going to do DS politics, it has to be worth his time. AKA, give him money. And all Phil does is just read articles, regurgitate them, and give his own DSP takes on it, which is the worst vanilla takes I've ever seen. Absolutely horrible, bottom of the barrel.
So anyway, listen, okay? I'm not opposed to bringing back DS politics, but I need it to be worth my while and my time. I don't want to spend a bunch of time over the week gathering these news stories, okay? Getting them all together, picking the best ones, covering them in detail to get 200 viewers and make $50. I want it to be something people actually want. I want to make content you want. And there is content in demand right now. There's content in demand on this channel and it doesn't seem to be politics. Get it? So unless I'm wrong and you guys convince me otherwise, I don't really see the point. That's true. Winston says, prefer political streams, but it can only garner as much interest as how interesting the news cycle is that week. You're right. You're basically beholden to whatever the topic is that week of what's going on in politics, right? So if it's a great week of debate and all kinds of stuff, but if it's not, then it's going to be a week that's kind of a filler week that's not that good, right? Gerard says, I think some people wanted to get your general political stances and they've lost interest after getting what they wanted. The thing is, I feel like we didn't even touch more than just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like I said, when I started the show, was almost a dead time for politics because Trump had won the election, but we were in that floundering in-between time. It ain't really going to hit the ground and get exciting until he's president and changes are starting to happen and sweeping debates are happening about what he's doing. Then I think there's more to talk about. I feel like I started it way too early and people got burned out way too fast on it because I just didn't have super interesting stuff to discuss every week. You know? Wolf liked that a £2 super chat says probably better to just stick to playing games. Well, again, that seems to be and by the way, not just playing games, let's be honest here. It's kind of hanging out with games, me giving my takes on games, or pro wrestling, which is working now. Like the Smart Guy stuff 2 episodes in is working well, I feel. And continuing on with that. So, yeah, Portal 2 mods. I'm sure there's tons of mods for the Portal games, right? I'm sure they made a bunch over time.
DSP then goes on to talk about the difference between himself and Kino Casino. And he says, if you want intelligent takes, you come to me. If you don't want to think and just laugh, rage with emotion, go to Kino.
No, see, Prince of Darkness, I think is correct, says, if you're not a firebrand like PPP, then doing politics never will work. You have to be polarized. I'm not shitting you. In order for people to be interested in political content, you either have to be all the way to this side, all the way to that side, slandering and insulting the people who don't agree with you and calling them jackasses. If you are ultra hyper invigorated with energy and just vigor and vitriol, you can get it to work because that's what I guess people like. They want drama, right? They want drama. They don't want takes that are like kind of thought out, middle of the road, interesting. You know, listen, a lot of my takes did lean to the right for some of those topics that we covered, but there are going to be times when I'm not right leaning. I get the feeling that once Trump's in power, that a lot of the things that he's going to do or say I'm not going to agree with. Okay, so you're going to get like the other way for some of that. But the thing is, my takes are not, oh my God, 100%. I'm so gung ho for this or that. They're not, and they're never going to be. So I don't think that it's going to be that interesting. More people want me to sit there and just destroy someone rather than actually have like an intelligent, thought-out take that could actually make you think. No one wants to think. Everyone just wants to laugh. Let's put it that way. No one wants to think. Everyone just wants to laugh or rage, one or the other. They want emotion rather than intelligence. Some people, there's a few people now who've said this in chat, maybe a political show bi-weekly or monthly. Maybe. Let me put it this way. I am not eager to start the show up right now. Like I said, I was going to do it after the Trump inauguration. He's inaugurated in just a couple days, right? First of all, this week it wouldn't work because this week I already have a day off on Thursday that I need to take off extra. All right. So like the earliest I could even do the show would probably be like, you know, very end of the month or early February. But to be honest, I don't really feel like that's something that I'm interested in doing right now. I want to get solid playthroughs going. I want to continue with the Smart Guy show. Like I said, I actually have interest in appearing on 1 or 2 different shows and interviews that people have been talking with me about for a few weeks now. And I'd like to work on that, get some of those going. And then maybe after that, then figure it out. But for me, like right now, I'm just not really eager to jump back into politics.
Then DSP goes on to say, he no longer has extra popularity, so he can't have his political show right now. AKA, money. Then someone started talking about Marvel Rivals again, and tells him he needs to start playing Marvel Rivals as a team game. As a team game, because people are not supporting it due to how he's treating the gameplay, aka solo. Then DSP takes this and says the person is demanding he play the game the way he likes and tells him not to show up. Then DSP talked about the anonymous tip that came in during the daily wrap that helped him hit the goal. And he said, there's no reason for me to fake these, there's no streak anymore, dudes.
First contribution of the day. Now, let's transition this into our next topic. If you take a look down below, everyone, you're going to notice something. It says goals hit 72 out of 80. Now, wait a minute. Yesterday, I only streamed 1 stream because I did that private react at night. And if you were here for the end of yesterday's Stalker 2 stream, you would have noticed we were at $115, and then we did DSP Tries It, and then the stream ended. So what happened? Well, as the stream ended, I'm not going to lie, I had to use the bathroom right away after eating that sandwich. I don't know if it was that pepper relish or whatever, but I had to run to the bathroom, so I did. So I used the bathroom. And then as I came back, and I was about to film the daily wrap, there was an email in my inbox. I had received a $35 anonymous tip. Not even a name attached or a message. It was just a $35 anonymous tip. And I was like, awesome. That's great. And we'll count it towards the goal. We hit 72 out of 80. Now, the funny part about it was, I went ahead and I recorded the daily wrap and I explained, hey, this is why we're counting it towards the goals or whatever. This is awesome. These morons out there are actually saying that I made it up. Oh, the tip wasn't real. Okay, now listen to me. Really, at this point, they are so desperate to say that something that I said is a lie, even though no one fucking cares anyway. But they're so desperate to say that something I said is a lie, they don't even make logical sense with their claims anymore, all right? I want you to think about this. I don't have a streak anymore. There's no streak, okay? It doesn't matter if I hit that goal yesterday or not. It's the same to me. It's not like, oh, the momentum is over. The momentum still continues, because if you don't hit a goal one day, you could still hit the goal the next day. There's no streak. So there's literally no incentive whatsoever for me to lie about getting a contribution. It doesn't benefit me at all. It's not like, oh, the momentum of the streak continues and more people want to contribute. It doesn't do that. There's no streak. So why would I lie? It literally makes no sense at all. In fact, wouldn't I lie the opposite way and say we didn't hit it, so that way I don't have to give you a reward as quickly as possible? Because that's how it works now. When we hit these goal milestones, I have to give you a reward every 10, and then every 50, we're doing a big event. Remember, at 100, when we hit 100 goals hit, you guys are going to pick a game for viewer's choice. And I'm going to do a marathon day where we play that game all day long, and we determine if it's good enough to become a full playthrough, which it very well might be. Okay? And there's going to be food and booze and a celebration style that day, just like I do with my other marathons. So why would I lie and have to give that to you earlier? What? None of this makes any sense. But then again, nothing they ever said made sense. They're fucking morons. They're mouth droolers. They're slow. That's what they do. They literally, anything to say Phil did something wrong. But what you're saying has no actual merit, because it would actually hurt me to lie about making more income. Don't you get it? So anyway.
And then we have this from PWOP. He absolutely still does incentive to fake tips. Example, he's at $20 out of $150. Nobody's biting. $130 is too much, and Chad accepts he won't get the goal. Now, he makes up a fake $75 tip. Now it's $95 out of $150. Well now, $55 doesn't seem so overwhelming. Let me donate to get to the goal. Then DSP talks about needing a day off yet again in the same day, where before he said, I need to take an extra day off this week. Like I said, I have things I need to do, the appointments and whatnot. 40 minutes later, I'll be taking an extra day off next week to do things I want to do with my wife. And then goes on to say, ever since my resurgence, my time is more valuable than ever. Then in a moment that lacks self-awareness, DSP declares, anybody with real at the end of their username is stupid. And Phil's name on Kick is DSPGAMING real. Then DSP declares how he watches wrestling. So basically, he's in bed, sleeping next to his wife, that's a lie already, and he doesn't want to turn on the TV. So he looks at his phone, then writes notes on a piece of paper, and also declares he doesn't want to bring his laptop into the bedroom. And then goes on about how he needs a new iPad, wink wink, nudge nudge, ICS. And it's funny too, because he says he takes all these notes while watching wrestling on his phone in bed, but at the same time, he's also watching Kino Casino, and when the wrestling podcast comes in, Triple P, he calls him Triple P, talks for 71% of the time, and whenever DSP talks, it's, yeah, cool, okay. I haven't watched wrestling in 5 years. Duh. So what are you taking notes for if you're not going to speak about anything, Phil?
Did PPP make me take notes? No, I always used to do this. Remember on Smart Guys back in the day? This is what I always took notes during pro wrestling so I could remember stuff later on. I always did this. If anything though, I wish I had a way to do it. Like right now I'm watching it on my phone, okay? So here I am watching it on my phone, I'm trying to like write and shit. I wish that I had like a better way to do it. Like back in the day I had an iPad and I would use the iPad to like type quick, but now I don't have an iPad anymore. Mine's busted, it's ancient. So I don't really have a way to take notes. I can't take notes on the same phone I'm watching the show on, Maybe if I got a tablet and I could watch the shows on the tablet and then I could take notes. You know what I mean? Why not watch it on a TV? Because I watch this when my wife's asleep. You understand that, right? Like my wife has to work early mornings. She's up hours before I am for my streams. So the nights when she has to go to bed early, that's the nights that I end up watching this stuff. I watch it, with headphones and I take notes and everything. I can't have the giant TV on noise and shit. Now I don't want to bring the laptop into the bedroom. Maybe I'll look for like I don't know anything about like tablets, but maybe if I got like a cheap tablet and I could sync it with my network or something, maybe I could do it.
Then DSP is upset at meme names, specifically on Kick, that have memes about him that he doesn't like. Then we get to the DSP podcast audit, biggest section, 33% Q&A, followed by begging/goals/support/Patreon, shoutouts, daily rap recap, what to play next, intro, playing with RGB/mic/mic settings/background, and schedule. Robust, organic content, dude. And look at this, from 209 to 216, it's two people talking. And one of them is Dragon Boy. Then we get the Street Fighter 6. And this, my friends, is why DSP hates Raw Phil and all the other Restreamers. DSP Gaming, 196 people watching. Raw Phil, 549 people watching. But you're so popular, dude. Why aren't they at your streams, dude? Then it's time to look at how DSP did in Street Fighter 6. Of course, DSP, you know, he's known to be cool and collective in Street Fighter 6, right? There's no way he's gonna be toxic and insult people. There's no way DSP would ever do that, right?
I would love to have a final 1 to 2 sets that are good, but I have to actually find people with brains, and I'm not really finding that many at this point. I'm just finding dunces and cheaters, basically. Fucking people who just want to do high-tier pattern play instead of actually play the game. Oh, I'm Cammy. I just press low jab 7,000 times in a row, and it beats everything you do. Oh, I'm Chun-Li, and my internet sucks, so I get away with everything. Here's another. Here it is. Chun-Li forever. This is just a string of people with bad internet connections getting away with shit. What is this fucking scrub bitch? You fucking loser. Your terrible fucking internet. No effort, no brain. I just back up and press Fierce Punch and it stops every fucking move that you do with Honda. What a great fucking player. Until the pattern began, I was dominating that player. And then the pattern began and it was the end of the game. Do you understand what I'm saying about how bad this fucking game is? The guy has no skill in Street Fighter, but he knows one pattern and he knows that it works online. So he just does it and it works. It's brainless Street Fighter 5 levels of gameplay. It's crap. It's fucking crap. Capcom sold the fuck out to sell this game to fucking scrubs, and they should be fucking ashamed that they ruined competitive Street Fighter play in the modern era. Because it's crap. It's not fun and it's not skillful whatsoever. What a fucking loser. What a bum. What a fucking bum. This person's internet is the only reason I lose to them. Every fucking time, the internet is terrible. So I'm trying to play them and it's like dropped input, wrong move. Fuck you. I'm not wasting time on people with bad internet. Your internet is fucking trash. Stop fucking playing online. You suck. You literally have played Chun-Li since day one. You're still not good. That's why you're stuck at this fucking entry-level master rank. You know you play non-stop because every fucking time I play, that person's online and every time their connection sucks ass. So I'm not wasting time on fucking idiots with bad internet. Like, dude, the only reason you're winning is my fucking moves don't come out. Over and over and over. Come on.
That was the week of DSP. Where we go from here, who knows? Probably bottom of the barrel. But if you like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe my other channels on the details of the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.